Good afternoon. It is June 24th, 2022, and here's what I saw for the day. Obviously, this was an uptrend day. Really, most of the move came in like the first hour and a half of market open. After that, it was pretty much sideways. Probably just low volume, I'm guessing. So let's take a look. I don't want to waste too much time. It's not a whole lot to talk about. So I think 5 o'clock came somewhere in here, and we were just going sideways. Yeah. So right here, we were just going sideways. So there's not really any entries in here. It was just very congestive. This looked like it had a downward bias to it, but you couldn't really tell. But this did form the spike in channel for the day, which was these lows. So that's something to think about. And then shortly after market open, you get a failed second entry short right here. And even though this is going into new highs, this is just such a great setup that I think you got to take it. Kind of looks like a spike in channel, but I only draw off the lows. So this isn't a new low, but that does look like a spike in channel. And here we're trending higher, and you get a first entry, second entry, really great setup, and really low risk. What is that, 39? About 2 points of risk. So, and that is clearly a leg down, a move up, and it just, we didn't get a second leg down, but this is clearly a break of that correction. So I really like that. And then we're just moving up, and we're a little far from the EMA. But then we come here, and you get, this is I looked at this as the new low, first entry, failed second entry. It confirms this channel, and it's a second entry long. But the only problem is this is like a 10-point bar. So I didn't take that, but it does confirm this channel. And then this is very far from the EMA, all of this. And then you get this leg down, leg up, and then sideways. So some people might have looked at this as the second entry or something and entered on this, but my signal bar is no good, so I don't like that personally. But then we come back here, and technically this is a second entry. You can see that ticks higher, but I looked at this as the second entry, and it's a double test, so I like that entry. And if you don't take that, you get a higher low right here, and if you don't like that, you get a failure right here. So few good entries right there. Clearly in an uptrend. Here you get a second entry. So what's wrong with that? Well, clearly we're in a range at this point. And my signal bar personally wasn't good, so they probably just trapped a bunch of people who went long too early and didn't wait for the signal bar to close. And you can see that's also off the midline of that range. And what else did I see? You can see we're not making it to the high of the channel. Well, we didn't even test the low, so that's, I guess that wouldn't be relevant. But yeah, I think they just trapped a bunch of people jumping in too early, because you can see that causes like a leg of correction here. And then it bounces off of those channel lows. We break out for a second, double bottom, first entry, failed second entry. That's also a second entry long. That's a great entry. Take that. Then we break out the high side, and you can see that's pretty equal to the breakdown here before failing. And we come back and we don't quite test those lows. And at this point, I was just looking at this as a range and too congestive to trade, but this was clearly a move up. However, it was still too congestive. And this is just a measured, I just drew a measured move of the midline of the range and took it up here, and you can see that's exactly where prices bounced. And then we fail to go higher, break back into the range, and that bounces off, looks like the midline of that channel. And then at this point, we have this lighter colored channel coming up here. Here, let me move this over. This is kind of like a lime greenish channel. and you do get a first entry, failed second entry. And the reason I marked this blue is because we just had a break of this channel, and I did view this as a channel. We didn't make a new high, so they're trapping all these shorts going short, and it's a pretty good setup, and it confirms this short-term trend channel. And then we're just going sideways, and I don't like anything in here. But then if you were suspecting this was a channel, we get further confirmation right here. And then you get a failure, but it doesn't set up well. It's too congestive. And then we come up here, and you have a second entry. Yeah, so this is one I didn't see in real time. But because it didn't break lower here, I wasn't even paying attention. But you can see there's a first entry, and then it doesn't make a new high. So it makes a lower high. So, I mean, on a day like today, you're going into the highs there, so it's a little questionable. I guess that makes it more of a green arrow, but I like that. It's off this short-term channel. We just had confirmation of the lows of this channel. I like that. It should probably be green, though. Then we come up here, and you get a break, and you don't get a new high. These are matching highs, and this one's tough because these are matching highs, so technically it's a double top, and you would want to reset the count, but looks like a second entry, again, on a day like today, big uptrend. I think you consider this, and if you didn't go long right here, and you don't have a heart attack when it hits a matching low, I think you definitely got to go long right here. And maybe what you do on these, I've started going for 2 points because these are going into the highs. Even though it's an uptrend day, maybe you just go for a 1 point scalp. Maybe. And that's all I really see. You can see we continued higher. And it looks like prices just had a small sell-off. Let's see, like a 10-point sell-off, nothing crazy. So I'm about to pause the video and take a look at the daily chart. But that's what I saw for today's trades. I'm not going to make a video on Monday because I'm going to be traveling, but I'm going to pause the video and pull up the daily chart. So here you can see the daily chart, and I think Mack has been drawing his a little differently than me. I think I've been drawing it off the lows, whereas he's been drawing it off the... I don't know how he's been drawing it, but you can see this looks like an overshoot the way I've been drawing it. And, you know, the midline looks pretty valid. And so what we got was and you can look, he says when there's a gap up, that usually means that your trend lines are accurate. So look at this gap up. We came up here a couple of days ago. We tested that, bounced, formed the doji, and now we're headed higher. So, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. This also looks like a trend off the lows. Right there. Yeah, that looks extremely accurate. And look at that. We get a break. Perfect price action. It comes up short. Break. Move to a new low. So we'll just have to see what happens in the coming days and weeks. So hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back on Tuesday. Have a good weekend.